Flow. We experience it in many aspects of our lives. Energy, river, air, and waves. We see it, feel it, and breathe it. It's a movement rather than an object. The flow you are about to see is a form of art. Flow arts.
I would describe it as moving any object around in patterns or shapes, or I don't know how to break it down more than manipulating the object to make it move in a way that it couldn't by itself. I have no idea when somebody first picked up a spoon and started twiddling it around in their fingers. It's as simple as that. It could be something that kids did, it could be something that circus people did. Juggling is a form of object manipulation, so is hula hooping, so are balancing acts, balancing things on your nose. You're manipulating the object to make it do something that you want to do. Psychologically, that focus, that single-mindedness, that mindfulness can be very beneficial to calming the mind, focusing the mind, bringing oneself towards oneself. It often brings people into communities because you go out to learn from other people and to share with other people, and so you have communities forming around specifically the flow arts movement. And psychologically, human interconnectedness is super important for us, so that's a great benefit that can come from it. And then of course the physical that then connects into the psychological. If you're using your body in a way that makes you happy, that keeps you fit and is exercising your mind and your body, you're psychologically going to benefit from that as well, for sure.
To put it simply, it is when you move objects, when you make them move. We've always been playing with stuff. It's the idea of just fiddling a stick in your hands. We've always enjoyed playing with things. Flow arts as a term has been around for maybe like 15 years, but again draws its roots from circus in the West and from the Maori fire dancers in New Zealand and from India and martial arts. Flow arts is largely the same thing as object manipulation. However, in my understanding, the intention, there's a set intention. Flow arts, as opposed to say circus and performance arts, your intention is to appease an audience. You're putting on a show that you want other people to want to see, so that they pay you for the show, and so that they applaud and have a good time. Flow arts is more of a personal thing. The intention, for me at least, when I do flow arts, is to activate the flow state within my own mind, my own brain. So it's transient hypofrontality, where the blood flow changes from the frontal lobes to the back of your brain, which puts you into more of a here and now state of mind. So we end up worrying less about complicated issues in our life and just being focused on what we're actually doing.
So you get sock poi, so that's literally just a sock with a weight on the end. I use contact poi mostly. That's with a stage ball, which is like a plastic ball that's got a little bit of weight to it, and then you put that onto the string and then you use a knob on the end. That allows for tosses and those kinds of things. You get fluffy heads, and you get comet poi, which have like little tennis balls with tails on them, so that looks very pretty during the day. And then you get LED poi. You get a whole bunch of different types of LED poi, from the cheap ones to the nice expensive ones. And then you get fire poi, and the fire poi heads, those vary like a lot. So you get lots of different patterns that you can tie the Kevlar in to make bigger heads, ones that last longer, ones that have smaller flames but last long, some that just are huge and crazy. Yeah, you get lots of different ones. My favorite one is a monkey fist, which is a type of knot that turns into a ball basically, and that gives like a nice big flame. It looks like a big comet.
One of my friends had a sort of pod boy LED Poi, and he brought it along to a braai, and I was there, and I asked him if I could play with it, and he was like, sure, and he taught me a couple of basic tricks, and when I got it right, the feeling was so indescribable that I wanted to get my own pair, and so I did, and that's where it started. I'm almost my own form of inspiration. Like, the more you learn, the better you get at it, the sort of like finer control that you sort of achieve. Like, it's a self-rewarding thing. I have just recently gotten swivels, so juggling Poi is kind of cool at the moment for me. I'd actually like to learn all the things, all the props, but mostly just for fun, possibly performing in the future.
Playing and like messing around with objects and object manipulation itself is always super fun and keeps me feeling like positive and exhilarated. It's always good things. First time I played with the prop was probably the hula hooping when I was a kid. I wasn't really good at it, but it was still cool, still fun. The more I played with it, the better I got, so that kept me motivated. And then my pixel whip came into my life about last year and completely changed my life. It's just so fun. It's like part of my body, the most fun thing to play with, in my view. My favorite part about object manipulation is probably like playing with my pixel whip and just being able to do whatever you want with it, and like you can just do like a little flick with your arm and it already looks amazing. You don't need to be like a pro, you can just like do your own flow with it and it always looks good. I just love the way that the pixel whip looks like kind of like static electricity flicking off your body. Like it's crazy to watch it, and like the way that it changes with each movement and changing the colors itself as well, and like putting on different settings and things just blows my mind. So future goals for object manipulation, maybe getting into like teaching a workshop for pixel whips to like kids and stuff, because I know they're like super into it and it would be cool, especially at like a festival, doing a workshop at one of the stalls. And definitely not professionally, just like for fun.